going. And then, same as per usual, just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about.
Defend objective A.
Okay, running around.
The dash was supposed to go further. And here's, yeah. We did get the kill, but that wasn't because of me.
Yeah. Well, you know, you did do a decent bit there, but yeah, dash. Just want to make sure that we're not aiming into the floor with it. Right, then this next dash we end up being a little bit delayed with. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, let's see.
Did those hit? Back like 2 seconds. This one.
Looks like that maybe a no reg, or he got healed through it. That is possible that was a no reg.
I was gonna say, because that seems like it happens a lot too, which might be considered
what ping are you on?
Oh, that shows yours in the top.
Oh yeah, so that's my FPS. A little bit different.
So let me go into a training thing because I can see.
I mean, that shouldn't matter too much. I mean, it's just, you know, it. I mean, it's not like we could change anything unless it's just like get better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I have like 50 latency and like 20 IND, which is.
Yeah, I mean that shouldn't be too atrocious. I mean, it happens that like just no rigs will happen even, you know, when you have some better ping as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so, right here, right, we're coming in, Mercy, right, we see Mercy, Mercy gets away with the free res, if we're watching her, she's actually 1 HP here, maybe could chase that, Ana, kind of drops right down main, we see the McCree, we dash at him, right, we're a little bit delayed, we drop in, okay, so what's the issue right now, I guess, good.
I thought I'm close enough to a wall. I should be able to climb it, but
yeah. I guess what would you say is like the target priority issue here?
He's being healed.
Yeah, McCree is going to be more difficult to heal than a Mercy or Ana, especially when McCree is being in the middle of being pocketed by both of them, right? Mercy cannot, Mercy and Ana, right? They can only really single heal each other. Now they have a little bit of self-healing for themselves, but it's not nearly as good as their ability to heal somebody else, right? So if they're healing the McCree, they can both heal McCree, whereas they can only really single heal each other. And then on top of that, McCree has more health than them and has flashbang as an option as well. So it overall might just be a better option to maybe try to go for the Mercy instead, as kind of your first option, or the Ana. But we're focusing a little bit on the McCree here. And then also, like you said, we kind of ran away from the wall, whereas you might want to stay by the wall, so you kind of have that easy get out, easy job getting away. Nice kill. Nice. Okay, right now we kind of run away from those. We knew there's like 2 other people down back there, but we kind of ran away from getting cleanup kills.
Yeah, I didn't realize anyone else was there.
Yep, so make sure you're paying attention. Keep your ears, eyes open. On Mercy, like, hadn't died at that point, so they'd been there since the start.
I did bait him in there for him. Alright. I can't deflect sim turrets, can I?
No, you cannot. It is a beam. So same thing as sim.
No, not the beam, the actual turret.
Yes, turrets are beams too.
Okay. It looked like I did for a second, but then I realized it was still hers, and I was like,
Yeah, well, I mean, even even hers, you can't deflect either. Like her normal left click. That must have been like McCree's shot that you deflected here, or Anna's shot, either or. Okay, so we're coming into the fight. They use a bunch of ults. Okay, if we're potentially trying to win that fight, popping Nano Blade a little bit earlier might be helpful. So pressing, you're in this situation right here, and you see that you're 94 to ult, right? So all you need, especially if you got Nano, right, is one single dash through that group of people, right? So we can dash through, or before we even dash through here, right, this is where we can be pressing, I have my ult, I need healing, or saying it also if you're communicating in team chat, that'd be even better and easier, is just saying, okay, Anna, I'm ready for it, hit me, right, that sort of thing. And then we can pop Nano Blade earlier in this fight, which can probably help to win it and keep our momentum going. But because we end up holding on to it, then that just means that we lose. So I don't have we talked on that concept before of ults that are used first generally get more value than ults that are used second?
trying to get nanoed. She did end up start nanoing me, but it takes a while to get nanoed, especially in plat. They like to nano the Rhine. You can't really put your faith in them like you should be able to.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely, you shouldn't be putting faith in them, but I didn't hear us pressing the I my ult button at all. I didn't hear us pressing I need healing, both of which direct Anna's attention to you, because they give her an in-game audio cue as to where you are as a character. That's the universal code for I'm going to be blading now. And then also if you're communicating in team chat, that helps significantly for getting her to pay attention. But as with all communication, there shouldn't be an expectation that they will listen to you, but consider it just that they will be more likely to listen to you if you say anything rather than nothing. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just ulting faster here just gets us a lot further.
In 3.
I think this is where I was like trying to get the Anna. And then she does nano me here.
Okay. So
I did see I did go after the. I was trying to get gold out and then dash the sim and the I think Anna.
not a really important at all. Not gold is not a ability, and there are not many abilities that are worth taking the time away from getting a kill. There's like almost zero abilities in the game that have equivalent value to a life, right? So you trying to get gold out, and then even among the abilities, like just in the game, gold is kind of a kind of mid-tier ability. It's not like it's like the best of the best. So overall, I wouldn't say that this is really of any value. Always go for the kill first. It's just of more value to you, to go for the kill. And we, even after gold gets out, I think we still do like 2 slices on her before we're dashing it all. Note that the longer your ult is taken, I mean, we can rewatch it here. But I have one more point that I'm gonna make, but we can rewatch it. I think we go for 2 slices on it. We go for slice, and then we go, right? Note that, and then now we're already gone 2 seconds out of our ult. Now we essentially wasted a third of our ults or a third of 2 ultimates on 1 cooldown, right? Then the other thing to consider as well is that the longer we take to land our blade, the more time they have to react to us, to run away from us, to shoot at us, to sleep us, to, etc. The slower our ultimate is, the more opportunities they have to counter it. So therefore, that's why you want to be super speedy with blade. That's why nano blade gets much more valuable than flat blade, is because it's faster. You can do like a slash dash rather than a double slash, right? So all to say, probably want to immediately be going for these squishy targets, not going for the Orisa first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dijum with the 2K here. Okay, I see one other issue with our blade. Right about here is the issue. You maybe see what that is.
3, 2, 1.
They could see where I was going.
No, that's fine. I mean, if you're that's kind of average. It's not like if you can do it as a surprise, sure, that's a bonus. But here, that's is not a negative. The primary problem is that the first time we see any of them is when we're already midair, right? We didn't do any scouting. We didn't see where the heck is anybody on their team, because for all we know, we turn this we couldn't see anything. We turn this corner, we're staring straight up in the air, right? Not really able to see anything. For all we know, there's actually nobody there to dash at.
Yeah,
So
I was alt if I saw no one, but yeah, I didn't know who was there.
yeah, and then
Land.
at the same time, then we would just be wasting our nano boost if we didn't. If we're dashing up without seeing anybody, and then let's say we get here and there's just nobody, it's just Orisa, or like, and everybody else is back at like the sim TP, and they're like a second away from TPing, right? Then you're probably not gonna be able to do anything with blade. And then additionally, not only does this just make it so that like you know that they're not there. Sorry, that's confusing. Not only does this help you to confirm that they are present, but it also means that if we're scouting ahead of time and just peeking the corner to see like, hey, where are they all at? Well, then that's going to make it much easier to do target priority and go for who you should go for first. It's going to make it easier for you to just not screw up and lose track of anybody. Ultimately, it just makes it much smoother when you know where everybody is. It essentially makes it so that you have to go for pure reactions. Now, I'm not sure if we've ever talked about this, but when you have to go for off of pure reactions, it's always going to be worse than if you had a plan going into it, right? Because if we're dashing up and we're just going off of what do we see in this 1 second, in this split second, then we only have 1 second to make a decision of who we're dashing at. But if we peek the corner and we check, okay, Anna's there, we have the Moira on the left, Sim on the right, well, then we can have like 4 seconds to pick what we're doing, where we're going, how we're chaining our dashes, and that plan that we're setting up in our head just allows for the whole operation to go much smoother. Overall, that's just a very complicated way to say scout before you blade. Don't go in blind. It's going to make it much better for you to know what the heck is going on around you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, nice kills.
Here's where I deflected. I planned that, and my deflect did not come out.
Like right there at the end.
Before, and like, I tried to go in, deflect here.
Okay.
And try to avoid it, and then I tried to spam it after just to.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't come out on this. You couldn't really see it. I mean, it's just firstly, gotta like this, and this is something that like I had to learn on Genji and Tracer and stuff like that. Is you can't just deflect when deflect is actually needed. You kind of have to pre-deflect because otherwise you're just gonna run into problems like that with ping. So you kind of have to deflect half a second faster than you think you need to, because that way you're not running into issues like that where it could just get canceled or not go through,
Taking damage.
which is difficult.
Somebody get the payload moving.
Is the sound not working for you?
Nope, sounds working for me. Is it like quiet on your end?
It's quiet on my end. I just wasn't sure.
Have you turned it all the way up on your end as well?
Oh yeah, you're all the way up on
No,
my end.
not my volume, the stream volume. If you right click on the stream, it should give you an option to adjust the stream volume.
I am on phone.
Oh, okay, sorry. My apologies again. That might make it difficult. See, I typically I can turn it up a little bit, but I typically have it down a little bit further so I can hear myself talking to people.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So issue number 1 I'm seeing is that we're playing a little bit out of range as of the moment. We're just kind of left click spamming. So I do like this play that we're making because we're trying to close the gap. Now, what's the issue with the timing of this play?
We're not in the fight yet. We're coming.
I think I would probably argue a bit of the opposite, is that the fight has or is basically starting right now, where we've already seen Bongo. The tanks are on top of each other, and this is the point in which we're kind of in the middle of our flank. So we might have wanted to start the flank a little bit earlier. Okay, kind of got ate up a lot by the sim turrets. Make sure you're paying attention to those, looking to take them out. Didn't really seem like we noticed them at all.
I tried to take that from her.
Okay. Okay, so here we end up getting shot. Probably want to immediately start backing out to the health pack. I think we kind of screw up because we dash it back inwards, which lets her get to it first. So just going for the health pack sooner there definitely could have helped.
Know yourself in the face of death. My ultimate is ready.
Okay, very nice. All right, really good. I think we cancel one of our slashes here, if I'm not mistaken, or we like back up outside. So we, right here, we could get a 2K with it, but we end up backing out, unfortunately. So just watch that. That could have sped it up a little bit faster if we just land that one slice. Also, like dashing through him here could just get us back in range. Yep, there you go. Yeah. Besides that, nice cleanup. Great kills. Blades are going great. I think we're looking at a lot of the in-between blades as of this game, at least, where we're struggling. Okay. Watch stepping in front here. If there's a brig nearby, don't want to step within that.
I think I misclicked there. I didn't really mean to deflect.
All right, pretty solid. I think lots of where we're struggling is to get value on those in between fights with plates, where the fights where the fight has divulged into a poke battle, and we're not a poke character. That's
As I have
Mhm.
noticed mid fight, like trying to shoot like, you know, 3 shurikens. I miss quite a bit, and then when I try to get close, if our team's not already pushed in, I die.
Yeah, so that's firstly goes to show some of the weaknesses of Genji as a character, which I don't know. Have we discussed much about like your hero pool? And this is my apologies. I'm forgetting like a couple of conversations because I don't know if we've had these conversations on day one. Month 2 months ago, whenever we had that first one. But are you kind of committed to the Genji only, or do you have some other characters that you'd be willing to swap over to?
I'm trying to like one trick him for now.
Mhm.
Partially because Overwatch 2 comes out in 2 weeks. And I know I'm good at Doom. I have gotten up to Diamond with
Oh.
Doom, and it's just at that point you get so countered. You either have to learn extreme rollouts and um or swap anytime there's a Pharah, Echo, McCree, Brig. So yeah, I tried to go Genji instead, but
Mhm.
I have gotten up to Doom, and I do get frequently complimented by my Doom, but he's going to be a tank in 2 weeks. So
Yeah. So I would say that since that's off the table, you kind of have to learn how to deal with your weaknesses, which is something that you can do. That's like, that's just, it's going to be a handicap, but it is possible. So, what, like, to go more in depth on this, right now, one of the things you're struggling with is just doing things firstly when you don't have blade, which a lot of Genjis struggle with making sure that they're actually existing outside of their ultimate, which if you're only getting your ultimate once every 2 fights, then that means that you're not existing for half the game, right? Which just isn't a great um not really a great ratio to have be existing for. So
yeah,
when it comes to participating, we want to make sure that we're getting within our range, getting in there to do things. I kind of liked a little bit of what we were doing with kind of going up on this flank to the high ground, but the issue was that we would get pressured out so fast that we wouldn't be able to stay here for very long at all, right? So we would come up, we'd go shoot, right? We'd get the teleporter, and then we would immediately jump inside 6 people and then dash out, and that's it, right? And then we go, oh wow, I
I
got
was
got
trying
a
to
lot of
get
value.
I was trying to get alt charge for it because dashing through 4 people or
hmm
staying close, it's kind of
What
finicky.
100%, and that's fair in this fight, but we also did that in the last fight too. We did
Mhm.
that right here. Oh, we did that here when we're 50 on our ult, right? And this is something like I don't know if we've talked about this, but I wish I'm saying that a lot this session, man. My brain. Sorry, I don't have a great memory. But one of the things is we don't want to be just coming into a fight attempting to charge our ults when we're not gonna get our ult this fight, right? Like that this shouldn't even be on the radar for the current fight. if we're only 50% there, because we're not going to get it by the time the fight's over. So there's no point in making that our sole objective for the fight. Instead, we should be looking to get value out of our fight rather than just trying to go for, ult farming. So doing this where we just, we grab the the teleporter, and then we immediately drop into their team when we're half HP. And we're going on Sigma, right? So wrong target priority. That timing's a little bit off. We're not really waiting for an opportunity at all. Genji as a character is an opportunist character. Hopefully we've already reviewed this.
Yeah.
You want to be going and doing things when you see the opportunity, right? Someone's low, somebody's out of position, somebody, have your ultimate, right? Your teammates are engaging, making space for you. Right now, nobody's low, nobody's out of position. You don't really see, there's no opportunity. And yet we're hard engaging. We're going in really hard, and then we're forced to immediately back out and get back to the front line and be outside of our preference range again, right? So, all that to say, if we're trying to survive later, maybe stick on the high ground a bit longer. Double back and grab the health pack. Go and just wait for an opportunity. Maybe poke for a second. Try to get some headshots. Make someone low HP. Right. So that's something we could have done better there. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, I think I try to not go for the tanks, but I do know like a couple people who play and they get like sub 1 minute blades, and they're like, I just farm the tanks. And I'm trying not to get that mindset because I want to get value
Yeah.
mid fight.
Well,
Yeah, it was kind of
yeah.
kind of gets in your head that, oh well, you're not getting blade fast enough. You need to farm.
Farming blade once a minute, every single so to get a blade every single fight. That is, I would say, an unrealistic standard that's not sustainable. That's not something that you're going to be able to do all the time. For multiple reasons. Firstly, because tanks, the higher up you go, will feed you less and less ult charge. They're not just going to stand there and let you shoot them. Additionally, on top of that, it's just not always going to work out like that. If they have and it's also going to depend on team comps and things like that. If they have 2 shields in your face, you're not going to be able to farm them nearly as easily as if they have 0 shields, right? Or a big hog to farm or something like that, right? So, team comp can play a factor in that. Situation can play a factor in that. Sometimes you just are brawling the entire time, but if you're just poking the entire time, that's different. You're usually going to get a lot more ult charge when you're in their faces, getting dashes, getting deflects, getting right clicks in them, than if you're just sitting in the back, throwing in left click shurikens and just hoping for damage, right? You're just going to get a lot more ult charge. So generally speaking, I would encourage you to look to find the like you said, find the value rather than just getting tempted into going for the flat up ult charge. And additionally, if same thing as I said before, if you're really far away from your ult, then just going for pure farm ult strategy isn't gonna work out. It's just not gonna be this. Right now, if we came into this fight and we went, okay, I'm playing around getting my blade. Okay, you're a whole 93% off. So you would have to farm to get that. And like I said, that's just not a sustainable or consistent way to play the game. Even though it could happen, you could get blade this fight. That's possible. Not super likely every single fight.
Yeah.
Dash in. Oh no. Definitely just an easy situation. Dash, watch the health bar. He's burning. He's below half HP. All we have to do is just dash after him, and that's an easy kill.
Yeah, I got nervous that someone might have been behind me. I've done that quite a few times. I'll think it's safe, there, and then I got blocked here. I tried to get out. I think I got caught on the wall.
You got caught on the Orisa, she body blocked you. Might not want to be pushing in there at all in the first place, right? This is just a really risky dash, right? Don't want to be going this far because then that puts us in a dangerous spot. Just don't want to be going that far. Does that make sense? Just we don't want to dash through them if it's not going to be easy to escape. Might just be better if we sat on the front end and then just deflected into them.
Yeah.
Might be a lot safer.
Walk it off.
I knew there was a Hanzo near me. I just did not know where.
Very nice.
Victorious this time, brother.
But at that point, we lost the fight anyway.
My activity is almost ready.
Oh, watch canceling dash too early.
Heal.
Or deflect, I guess. Yeah, at this point we're just staggering, right? If you know, say so getting back to what we've said probably before, right? If you've lost the fight, get out if you can. If you can't, let him kill you. Here, this is a situation where it's a very obvious you can't get out. You're in behind enemy lines with 4 people on you, and it's like a 4v1. Probably not going to be able to get out, so let them kill you. This means that we just end up getting bad spawn and going all the way back here. Means we're not going to be there for our team. Means we're going to be setting us behind, really far behind Nano. Now the fight's happening. We probably could have farmed a blade in that time if we were here existing and just spamming. Okay, and then Ana uses Nano.
Much better.
Okay. I would say so far with this game, and I'm not sure because I can go back to like other ones as well, right? And if I go back to our last coaching session and I look at like, you know, and listen to like what did we talk about? I don't think that raw aim is your main problem. That's I would go out on a limb and say that. Let's see, what did I say last time?
Last game we played, you said it was high priority. It was one of the high ones.
As raw aim? Raw aim or just mechanics as a category?
I think mechanics in general, if I'm remembering correctly, but you did aim was a big one, and I did adjust my settings quite a bit, and I have been working on them since.
Well then, okay, that's perfectly fine. I would say that currently they look a lot better. Like I would say that raw aim isn't looking like this is costing us a ton of. Maybe there's like, you know, 1 or 2 situations where we miss a couple shots. That happens. You know, it's not the most wonderful that I've seen, but it's also console, right? That's another thing as well. I would say that there's, as we've been talking, you know, through this game, there's been other things that have come up more around play style, than just raw aim. So just know, well, I mean, we'll cover that when we get to the wrap up portion, but it looks like it's changing around a bit just because of where you've been putting your attention and focus into it. Okay.
This was bad. The Hanzo was a Smurf, and I thought he would be down there, and I just get obliterated here.
Okay. Yeah, firstly, this isn't gonna get you any value, even getting this kill. At this point, I guess your whole team's pushing up to this spawn. Yeah, I think that's fine.
I was thinking when they pushed up, I was gonna blade and try to get, you know, Hanzo. I didn't realize Yana was there, but
yeah, I'd recommend against, because, you know, if we're running and jumping up to the high ground, if they're just keeping their ears open, they hear us. That's, you know, an easy kill on us.
Yeah.
That's what Hanzo did. So firstly, don't stand still. Secondly, keep your ears open so you can hear when he's climbing up behind you. Okay, so we're coming in. Okay, we do not have nano because we used it at some point there. Okay, missing a lot of slices. Notice that we do the same thing. Say that again.
I don't know how I lost her. Like, in my mind, she was right there, and when I dashed, she, like, disappears.
Yeah. First thing is that we do the same thing again. We go way too far out of range. So make sure we're not jumping out of range. We did that past 2 blades. Then we dashed. And we did lose her there for a second.
I was trying to focus that as well, but, yeah, 3 died from him, yeah.
Dash after the bait. Oh, no, man, we just used dash. Whoopsie, my bad.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Request healing.
I have been calling it a lot more. I sometimes forget, but
I wouldn't call it. I mean, just to clarify, are you saying you're calling it out in chat or?
no, I pressed the I need healing button.
Okay. I just haven't heard it much, like, heard it all this game, just vocally. So, I mean, sorry, from the in-game characters, I haven't heard Genji saying it
That's
at
what
all.
I've been. I may have. I think I'm on and off that. I'll sometimes remember to. I'm trying to remember more because sometimes I do. But
yeah, it's just building the habit. You know, just gotta work on it, and then it'll just come without you even thinking.
this was unlucky.
Yikes, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know how I got hit by that. I think I got hit underneath.
Yeah, I think you dropped.
Like right at the last second.
Oh, just gotta.
And I used my deflect, didn't it? That was one of the ones where I said I used my deflect.
I think once again it's a little bit too delayed. It needs just to come because even if we're using deflect here, we're using it after we've already taken a bunch of damage, right? So we've already taken at this point. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it was a lot of damage that came really fast. Just need to be deflecting faster, just with the anticipation of the damage, not reacting to the damage. And yeah, it's unfortunate. Sometimes deflect, you feel like you press it, and I get that too. You like, I pressed the button and nothing happened. And that's frustrating. Just gotta press it half second faster so that there's no case for the game to give it over to ping and let it just not happen. Okay, soldiers on the high ground there. Probably could have just it doesn't even really seem like we noticed the soldiers up above us to the left. Probably an easy, like, duel if we want to go dash him and try to pressure him.
I missed him. I was focused on the break because I watch YouTubers and I hear different things on how to work against her, and I see oh, stay away from her, and then I see, oh no, you have to push on, like you have to be aggressive against her to try to win, and I'm like, I just get killed either way.
Yeah. You should probably look to if she doesn't have the bash, like if she just used it, then she's not gonna be as big of a threat when you're close to her. But at the same time, the only thing that she has against you when you're far away from her is her whip shot, and that's it. Right? That's the only thing that she can use. So what you should be doing is keeping right outside of her flail range, because then that's close range for you, where you're hitting all your shots and you're in your effective range, but it's far enough away that she can't hit you. Does that make sense? So just stay right outside of her flail range, which is like probably like 5 meters or so, 5 meters ish.
Mm-hmm.
You're covered.
Did Anna just use Blade or Nano the fight? No, she used it. Wait, I think when he died.
Yeah.
You're covered.
Yeah, I thought she could get Blade in time, and I think, both died with ult.
Okay, this isn't really a duel that you need to be taking per se. Yeah, for big thing here is that we've just pushed too close. We get in her range, and that just lets her bash us, and then we take a lot of extra damage. Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it is a 4v, like 6 or 4v5 on the left side, or 3v5, because I'm looking at 3, and our team's still losing the fight.
Which, that's just because our team, like their team's not just chilling. They're not actually actively pushing, whereas they are pushing through this angle. So it might have been much more effective for, once again, if we see that we're outmatched character-wise, for us to peel back and run back towards our team, not taking a 2v1, 3v1. That might just be the play there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, if they pincer us and there's 3 behind and 3 in front, we're gonna lose anyway, so I wasn't sure. Tried to wait till the last second for Nano.
Yeah. Here, an idea, like back here, is rather than sitting around, you could have fed a little bit of your health so that Ana can get some healing in. That just feeding for her ultimate is something you could have done. Because they don't have anything that can one-tap you here. Right, Hanzo's walking back from spawn still. Or I guess, never mind, he's there, but that's an unlikely shot, right? So if we just peek here and get tickled a little bit, that can give Ana some healing. Besides that, we just kind of gotta dry blade it. Like, if we need to touch, then we need to touch, and it's kind of just better off going dry here than not using it at all. But, yeah, no, that's fine. Alright.
Allow me to repair the damage.
What is that orb? Just a replay bug, I guess.
There's a what?
There's like an orb chasing you around, like, in the replay.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Here, putting a little bit more pressure on them, just brawly-wise. We can probably get a little bit more in their face with the deflect, as long as we're wary of the rock. We can dodge rock with our movement, either with dash, or by climbing up walls, or by doing yada yada. We can also possibly dash dash through them here, play on the left side. Because remember, we can play off of these something like this where we're shooting at them from the side, and then all we have to do is just drop if we need to. There's also a soldier down here we could probably duel, but say there's nobody there, then we can just play off of this side and just climb up, duel, back down, right, get healed and then re-engage, right, that sort of thing. And this just gets us closer, gets us past the tanks, gets us a lot more value ultimately. All right, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult to summarize this time around, but, let's go for it anyways. Right, ability usage. Not too shabby, right? Yeah, dash, a couple things, right, where we would screw something up and either dash too early, dash too late, hold on to it, use it when it wasn't necessary, we just dash into their team, right? Make sure we're not dashing straight into the middle 6 people. That's a little bit more on aggression than dashing. Deflect, use it a couple, second early, right? Use it earlier than you think you need to use it, and that's it. I know it definitely is frustrating because in a perfect game, in a perfect, world, you're not gonna need to do that. You should deflect when you need to use deflect, and then it'll come out, right? But because there is ping, and because there is input latency and all of that jazz, you just gotta do it slightly faster. Do it slightly earlier than you think you need to. Overall, though, ability usage, nothing super major, critical. That's about a low to medium priority for you to work on. Blade usage, don't just go in without seeing what the heck is going on. Scout before you go, right? Glance at them. When you do go in, make sure that you are not jumping away from them with our first slash, right? We would do this and jump away outside of our range. Besides that, communicate. Press, I got my ult. My ultimate is charging. That's the universal I'm about to blade button. I need healing when you need healing. Communicate it in team chat. Besides that, overall, I would say that, yeah, I mean, that's mainly it with Blade. Probably goes a little bit higher than ability usage, but, still higher end of low to medium or kind of lower end of a medium. Something like that. It's nothing massive, but could be much more efficient. Also, target priority. I guess let's say put it lower end of medium, right? Target priority as well within Blade. Then positioning, get closer. I think a lot of the times we're playing too far away, and we've already talked about Genji's range in the past, right? You're not a long-ranged character, you're a short-ranged character. Say that again?
10 to 15.
Yeah.
Or, well, 15 max, because that's dash range.
And we want to look to play within that, and there's a lot of times where we just kind of would sit back at poke range, when that should kind of be the when that's needed. That isn't preferenced. Like, we shouldn't prefer that. Take off angles and flanks. Don't do longer flanks in the middle of fights. Try to stay alive on those as long as possible and stay on them. The longer we're on that, then the more value we're getting. If we're just going, if we're going all the way around, and then we drop in on them and go do, and then we're out, and then we're done, well, then what do we do, right? We spend all that time to go behind them for 2 seconds, and then we're back to our team, right? We gotta try to stay alive for as long as possible. So come over here, poke on their sideline, poke. Shoot, right? And then we're dashing, getting aggro. Maybe we see an opportunity. We have Blade, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'd say there's a little bit of positioning involved within some of this stuff. That just needs to be worked on. Overall, it's about a medium. Then mechanics. Target priority, right? Shoot the right targets, not the easiest targets to kill, not the hardest targets to kill. Of course, still keep practicing your aim. I wouldn't say it's a massive thing though. Currently, trying to think. I think that's mainly it, if I'm not mistaken. There's here and there things where we messed up. Overall, lower end of medium. Then you have finally, or sorry, not finally, second to finally. You have your awareness. Awareness, just make sure you're paying attention to your surroundings, keep your eyes and ears open. I think there's just a lot of here and there things. Watch health bars on enemy teams. Watch where they are, scout before you're going. Yeah, overall it's just here and there things. Overall, that's a medium. Sorry, I'm gonna add on to your mechanics, and I'm gonna add on the kind of half category of playstyle. So it's mechanics / playstyle, and just how are you approaching the game, right? And just make sure that when you're playing, that you're playing not just for those blades, but playing for those playing for the in-betweens too, right? Those in-between fights where you're looking to get value. Make sure you're not just trying to farm for blade when you're, 50 plus away and you know that you're not going to get it. You only farm for blade if you know you can get it in a reasonable amount of time to get value out of it, right? This shouldn't even be on the radar if it's far away, because you want to be looking to get value. To get value, make sure once we were, again, like we were saying, get into position to get value, I'd say is the biggest thing. And just look to get value in those in-betweens. I think that's about it. Overall, that probably kicks it up a notch, puts it maybe a higher end of a medium. So to put that all in order, the number one comes out to a... Let's see, yeah, the number one comes out to that mechanics / playstyle. Number 2 came to positioning. 3, probably like awareness / ult usage. Those two are kind of tied up. And then 4th, ability usage, just kind of, here and there things to keep working on. Nothing super massive with that. But yeah, honestly, I think it's just a little bit of everything as of the moment. I wouldn't say that it's really hyper-focused in on one thing that you're struggling on. So you just work on it step by step, right? Look to keep putting those into action. All makes sense?
Yeah.
Alright, any questions?
So if I'm, working on something and I'm, say, trying to review my gameplay, what should I be looking for? How do I know whether I'm trying to adjust something correctly or not if I'm, reviewing my game? Because I always see review your games, look over them if you're trying to work on, say, mechanics, but how do I know if my mechanics were correct or if I'm... and it wasn't my fault, or if it was something that I did wrong?
Yeah, sure. Couple different ways. Well, firstly is thinking about what did you probably the biggest thing that you're looking for is what did you do wrong, what looks incorrect, and usually you come to that conclusion, not always, but you can usually come to that conclusion based off of value, of what attains value and what does not attain value. If your shots are going like this and nothing ever dies, then you can probably assume, something's not working here, right?
Yeah.
We're not there's some value that's missing, the value of getting the kill, and then there's a reason behind that lack of value, and that is the missing of shots, right? A lot of it is going to be kind of common sense, right? There's not a lot of things that, it makes it easier to when there's somebody else walking you through it, but a lot of it is common sense when you start thinking through it. And you're looking to identify what isn't working, what are mistakes, what's leading to me not winning, what's leading to deaths, what's leading to lack of kills, and that I'd say that's mainly what you're trying to improve is less deaths, more kills. Is very, very core, very, very if you're making it simple.
Yeah, because I know I play tank sometimes, and for example, I was playing as Ryan, and I'm pushing forward when there's 1 or 2 people to stagger them during second point, and nobody pushes with me, and I don't realize that because I'm main tank, and then they all blame me as if there's not one or two healers that we can kill and just snowball the fight.
So in that
it's
case, you said I can't see them because I'm a main tank. What does that mean?
Like I'm ahead of everyone.
So
Kinda.
so you can't.
And I mean, I kind of thought they would be. I kind of assumed because I'm like, I was spamming push forward. I was pushing forward, and it just
So then in
doesn't
that
make
case,
sense.
right
Not
when you're analyzing your own gameplay, like you look at that situation, you go, okay, right, there's an issue. I died, right? That's the overall issue. You can go layers deep, right? So I died. That's a problem. Okay, deaths are bad. Okay, why did I die? Okay, because my team wasn't with me. Why was my why was my team not with me? Okay, well, because I was too far ahead of them. How do I what's a way that I can, because I shouldn't be trusting on random nobodies when you can work on your own gameplay, right? So what is something that can be done to improve your awareness of where your team is, which can stop you from pushing without them, right? And that's the
Is even theoretically like the right thing to do to push on like one or two people that are staggering back.
did it get you value to do that?
For a while until I realized nobody was there. Like I got
So
multiple kills and
yes, if your team's with you, right? If your team's not, then no, it's not the right thing to do, right? Because theoretically, if they push, then yes, that's a good decision. But if they don't push, then it's no longer a good decision because you're you're 1v2ing, 1v3ing, right? So think of it like this: if you're going into a duel, like let's say, what is a 6v3? If you're forcing a 6v3, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
am I the 3 or the 6? Because if I'm
if you're the 6?
that should be a good thing
That
because
should be a good thing. Okay, so then if you're the only one on your team who does it, and now it's a 3v1, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
now a bad thing.
Now a bad thing. So same, the exact same scenario, right? Yes, it's theoretically good if your team goes with you, but if they're not, then it's no longer good.
Think upon your actions.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because in my mind I was trying to, blame them the whole like I told them to, but it is a good point that I shouldn't trust them anyway, because
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they didn't come with me.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. It's still frustrating, of course. You want people to be listening, but if they're not coming, then they're not coming, and that happens.
I mean, even if they don't listen, I mean, in my thought is common sense that you want to snowball, because if they engage on a 6v6 with alts, like you're probably going to lose that. If you don't have the alts, or like you said, who alts first, etc. So it is a fine line where I do kind of sometimes put too much blame instead of thinking about what I did wrong. I that is something I try to work on, but sometimes I can't think about it in the right mindset that a pro would. That here's what I could have worked on. Like you said, they wouldn't push, so stay back.
Yeah. It's really just about, like you said, you want to focus on yourself, and sometimes teammates will listen, sometimes they won't. You don't want to put too much of an expectation.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we start wrapping up?